and frustration for Sheffield Wednesday, held at home by Blackburn. Leeds were well beaten at Aston Villa, where Dwight Yorke was on target again to add to the goal he scored in last season's Coca-Cola Cup final. Remember, the two sides meet in the same competition at Elland Road on Wednesday. At Hillsborough, Andy Booth's early strike for the Owls was cancelled out by Lars Bohinen's equaliser, but Wednesday, now 9th in the Premiership, could reflect on an impressive debut by Italian import Benito Carboni. Meanwhile, Leeds in 16th could, according to newspaper reports, be about to part company with their recent signing, Lee Sharp.
Bradford City's latest initiative is to offer a season's viewing for the family free. If you buy now for the next 5.5 seasons, it'll work out at just £2.30 per game. Sadly, I doubt whether Chris Waddle will still be playing then, but those present for yesterday's match with Barnsley will still remember this blinding shot. Vintage Waddle. Former City favourite John Hendry was instrumental in Barnsley's comeback. He and Scott Jones set up Andy Liddell, and try as he might, Eric Nixon just failed to stop the ball crossing the line. It looked as if Bradford were heading for their first win in 4 when Waddle carved Barnsley open through the middle. Andy Kiwomyu showed excellent composure to take the ball round Dave Watson and net his first goal of the season. But just as Bradford were beaten in the last minute at QPR, so they suffered again when Steve Davis scored 2 minutes from time. And Danny Wilson's boys nearly stole it. Dixon thwarted Paul Wilkinson, so the abiding memory was still of Chris Waddle's goal.
Any goals will go when you get my age. But yeah, it was one of my best, yeah, definitely. When it's with your right foot, it's always a bonus.
Just enjoyed watching Chris Waddle play today. It was magnificent. You know, what a player. You know, what perception, what skill, what control, what ability. You know, people are too quick to look at bursts at the beginning. He's 35 with 25-year-old legs and the skill, well, that a lot of players can only dream of.
Sheffield United had only won once in their last 5 visits to Stoke, but there was little doubt about the outcome once Michel Vonk bypassed a woeful marking to head home Don Hutchinson's corner in the 9th minute. In fact, every time a corner was swung into the home penalty area, there was chaos. This time, it was Andy Walker who profited when Mark Patterson delivered the ball back into the box. After the first goal, you would have thought the Stoke defence would keep a watch for Vonk arriving at the far post. Not a bit of it. 3-0 within 19 minutes. After that start, everything else could have been an anticlimax, and most of it was, apart from the 4th goal from substitute Gareth Taylor. Anxious to make his mark after losing his place through suspension, he did it in style.
Alan Buckley took West Brom back to familiar territory at Grimsby and must have wondered if his defence had travelled with him when Ashley Fickling found acres of space to convert Kingsley Black's free kick. Albion have actually won more games away from home than they have at home, but were a trifle fortunate with their equaliser. Rogers' header, cannon back. Pescisolido's cross impressively tucked away by Richard Snakers. Snakers was the man whose goals kept Albion's head above water last season. He almost made it a triumphant return for Buckley. The bar came to Grimsby's aid. Grimsby Town won, West Bromwich Albion won. The Mariners just above the bottom 3. Bradford would have leapfrogged them, but for that late Barnsley strike. Oldham and Charlton both surrendered winning positions. And this is the other effect of Barnsley's equaliser. They're 3rd. Sheffield United, with games in hand over everyone, nicely poised for a step up. Huddersfield make up the top 10.